Hello and very warm welcome at Amish Shackle 5858. I am Amish Shackle. Foreign news have been reported by American, European, Asian, African, Australian news channels and the news agencies. So please let's go to the headlines.
Fox's alert: the commander-in-chief's just been presented military options that would knock the snot out of the enemy.
Do we want to go and just blast the hell out of them and finish him forever, or do we want to try and make a deal? I mean, those are the options.
Do you want to go blast the hell out of them?
I prefer not. On a human basis, I prefer not, but that's the option.
Yesterday, the president spent the afternoon consulting his top national security team in the Situation Room. Vance, Rubio, Hegseth, and the CIA director all there. As CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper and General Raisin Kane briefed them on strike packages for one final blow. The session lasted 45 minutes. He was reportedly presented with strike options on infrastructure, a ground assault on the Strait, and an uranium extraction. But the commander-in-chief keeping his cards close to his vest.
Are you considering new strikes on Iran?
Why would I tell you that?
The war just hit day 60, and the press is telling the president, time's up.
Mr. President, it's day 60. Are you going to seek congressional authorization for...
No other country has ever done it. It's never been, as you know, most people consider it totally unconstitutional. Also, we had a ceasefire, so that gives you additional time. But no other country's done it. We're in the midst of a big victory. This is a victory like we haven't had since Venezuela.
Trump sent a letter to Congress today telling them no need for an extension. The ceasefire's already terminated the war.
Today, a community grieves. Indigenous leaders call for calm after the death of a 5-year-old girl in Alice Springs. Proposal rejected. The United States rules out Iran's latest plan to end the war. May Day demonstrations take a violent turn in Istanbul. At least 500 protesters arrested after clashes with police. And a 7th straight loss for the Melbourne Storm sends the club to a historic low. Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Melissa.
In the Mauritanian town of Fasta, I do believe we might have someone... As of
Usually right.
Africa News. The news.
Located where the White and Blue Nile converge, Tuti is across the river from where war first broke out in April 2023 between Sudan's army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. In recent months, many residents have returned following the army's recapture of the capital. Thank God we're back home after exhaustion and suffering. We suffered from rents, high prices, and many other things. But thank God we're back home safe among our family. Shops have reopened and farmers have come back to their land, which historically supplied much of Khartoum's fresh produce from its fruit orchards and vegetable fields. But much of the infrastructure lies in ruin. This woman stayed through the RSF's occupation of Tuti. I didn't leave. This is my country, and I will not leave it. My family didn't leave either during the British War. They resisted them with stones and didn't abandon their homes. I too stayed in my country and didn't leave. Now authorities say parts of the island have landmines planted by the paramilitaries. Residents feel they're caught in an open-air prison. Those that stayed endured beatings, humiliation and detentions. It's a feeling that cannot be described. We can't believe we've overcome the suffering and the life we had. Thank God, as you can see, the situation is fine. The war in Sudan is now into its 4th year. While there's relief in Tuti, the suffering continues elsewhere.
Germany over the next 6 to 12 months amid a widening rift between the US and European allies over the war. The Pentagon says it will withdraw
Iran.
despite a headline news this hour. US President Donald Trump casting doubt on Iran's latest proposal to end the war as talks remain stalled despite a fragile ceasefire that has lasted 3 weeks.
They want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we'll see what happens. Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it.
The Pentagon says it will withdraw thousands of troops from Germany over the next 6 to 12 months amid a widening rift between the US and European allies over the war in Iran. Workers across the globe take to the streets on May Day calling for higher wages, better conditions and relief from the rising cost of living. Many link their struggles to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Similar scenes of protests across Asia, Europe and the US, where protesters also voiced opposition to President Trump's policies, including his immigration crackdown. And that's the latest from the CNN newsroom.
Hello, you're watching Sky News. I'm Nick Qureshi. Here are the headlines.
We just had a conversation, but I would say that I am not happy.
Donald Trump says he'd rather not blast the hell out of Iran. But what will the US do next if they can't reach it? Here, PM pressure. New speculation swells of leadership campaign plans among Sir Keir Starmer's rivals.
Hello and welcome to Night Watch on France 24. I'm Charlotte Hughes and here are our top stories at this hour. Donald Trump says he's not satisfied with his latest peace proposal and tells he considers Iran war. United will withdraw around 5,000 troops. Human actors and writers will be eligible for Oscars from 2020. After an AI will be late top
Breaking news this Friday night. The investigation into a heinous crime.
The Alberta father accused of murdering his 2 young children. Anxiety at the gas pumps. Prices soared to near record levels
I never dreamed that this price happened.
as the West wants the congressional approval to continue his war on Iran. Protecting passenger rights. Ottawa's airline breaking the rules. The investigation into the posting of a voters list, what Elections Alberta says happened, and why this woman disputes that.
I know very well that timeline is not correct.
Plus, Banksy does it again.
It really fits the vibe here.
His newest masterpiece that has London all abuzz.
Global National. Reporting tonight, Colleen Christie.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight.
Plus,
Reporting from near The Hague for the NATO summit, I'm Selena Way. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Tonight, breaking news what President Trump is now saying about the war in Iran and about gas prices in the U.S. Also breaking tonight, the airline here in the U.S. reportedly set to shut down, and the alarming images tonight of a nun being attacked. First tonight, President Trump says he does not need congressional approval to continue the conflict with Iran, declaring hostilities with Iran have been, quote, terminated. But tonight, the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, gas prices soaring, and the president late today saying the options, Iran agrees to a deal or will blast the hell out of them. Gas prices surging across the U.S. again tonight, the national average now at $4.44 a gallon. How much are American drivers paying to fill up their tank, and what it could cost by Memorial Day? Deadly bank robbery, 2 people killed, including a bank teller. Police chasing a 18-year-old suspect. Schools on lockdown. Police turning to images on social media, including this image of an alien holding a fan of $100 bills posted after the robbery. The suspect kicking her. She's on the phone. Tonight, chilling new images. The suspect used inside Cuba, the massive May Day demonstrations as President Trump increases pressure with new sanctions against the Cuban government. Gas now costing $40 a gallon there. What are Cuban people saying? Matt Rivers in Cuba tonight. Here in New York City, news tonight on that deadly home explosion. The NYPD was answering the call. Officers to the front for the developments and crash.
Thank you for watching. I'm Shakil 5858. I hope you will come again. Have a good life. Bye-bye.